This little piece of spalted hackberry, it's not terribly spalted, but it's pretty grained. It's not very big, about 6 inches across, 7 inches long. I'm going to make a natural edge bowl out of it. The bark looks to be on there pretty good, so shouldn't be a problem. Anyway, this little piece of hackberry has been sitting over in the corner of the shop laughing at me since I started having problems with that big piece of hackberry. What big piece of hackberry, you ask? The one I've been working on for nearly a month. One of these days you might get lucky enough to see it. I want to turn this natural edge. It's not going to be a very big little dish, but I think it'll be pretty. I need to flatten this, turn a shallow mortise, and we'll go from there. You're probably not going to be able to hear me because I will have my Triton on, but that's okay. You don't need to be able to hear me. Okay, that's almost all the way there. Almost there. Gouge is a little big for this bowl, but should be able to turn this around and chuck it up and hollow the inside. But before I do that, that looks pretty good. It's time to sand. What I want to do is I'm going to sand this probably to about 220, fill these with Starbond, and then come back and sanding sealer in the whole 9 yards. I rearranged. You can tell you got a slightly different view. That's because I just had the hose for my dust collector hanging here and propped up on a stand. I actually put a intake that I built for it back in the old shop, mounted it to that same stand and hooked the hose up. In the process, I've got a platform now that I can hook my camera mount to. So I put you in a different spot, it puts the light in a different spot, it makes everybody happy. So I'm going to start sanding with 80. I'm going to sand up to about 220, then apply sanding sealer and then fill the cracks. Hit it with sanding sealer. What I use for sanding sealer is just Zinsser Seal Coat that I mix 50-50 with denatured alcohol. I'm going to put a good liberal coat on, and I'm going to let it dry, and then I will put another coat on. Okay, it's got 2 coats of sanding sealer on it. With these cracks here, I'm not worried about them. There's no ring shape, so I'm not worried about that. There's no apparent cracks up in the bark area. I don't know how deep these go, but they'll probably go all the way to where I'm going to hollow. And that's okay. Now, I know turners who would take this piece and turn it until all of this was gone and there weren't any cracks in it, which might leave them with a bowl this wide. Or they just would chuck it and wouldn't waste their time on it. I'm not one of those turners. I actually happen to like character like this. I'm actually going to accent them. I'm going to accent them using Starbond, medium thick black. And if you click on the link in the description below, as you see here on the screen, it tells you, you click that link and you'll get 20% off your order. Not a 10% code. You click that link, you don't have to enter the code. It's automatic. You click that link, you get 20% off. Okay, and I'm going to give these 10-15 minutes to finish setting up inside. Then I'll come back and gently turn this back down and sand it up, and we'll turn it around and finish it. Alright, it's been sitting a while. Some Axe abrasive paste. Click the link in the description below. And use that focus on screen or stop. Alright, I'm going to rub this in out here a hand so I don't damage myself when it's spinning. And I'll spin it kind of slow to start with. It up about 1,000. That looks pretty nice. Now, I should be able to turn this around. I don't want to apply too much pressure because that's only about 3/32 of an inch deep and I don't want to blow it out. But I don't want it to come off either. I want this relatively thin wall, so I think right about there. Realized y'all can't see the inside of that. I'm gonna let that dry a minute and then do the CA thing. Okay, like before, I'm gonna let it take it like it wants it. I think that will work. And that's a permanent mount. So I've got two places here, one right there and one right up there, that will let me get this angle and this angle, and I think we're good to go here on this leg. I will sand the rest of this out because I just really don't want to risk blowing this thing up. It's going to take several hours. Okay, it's been a few days since I've been able to get to this. If you've seen my post on the community page, you know why. But all systems are go again, so let's get this sanded up. Sanding sealer just to see what it looks like, make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, I will let that dry, and while I'm waiting on it to dry, I'll put some of this in a little thing and I'll brush this bark. And I'll put several coats on the bark, and when I'm done with all of that and I'm ready to polish it up on the inside, I'll come back. Now it's time for this good stuff. Now, I'll clean the wax off with denatured alcohol just to make sure my finish sticks good. I think the finish I'm going to use on this is antique oil finish. And I'm going to put it on the inside and out. Now, I can only put one coat a day on this. So I'm going to coat the inside first. Yeah, that's going to be pretty. Look at that. And now I'll coat the outside. And tomorrow morning I'll come back out here and I will put another coat on. I really like this finish. I don't know how many coats it's going to take. It may take as many as 4. And then once the finish is dry, I will finish taking this off and I'll glue my medallion in and it'll be done. So it's time to finish this, and I know y'all are saying, okay, are you gonna flip this around and turn the bottom of it out like Phil Anderson does, or how are you gonna hold it? Well, I'm gonna hold it with my frugal vacuum chuck. I got the center place, I got the center in. Now let's see how it spins. Turn the speed down. That, my friends, is absolutely dead true perfect. Turn my vacuum pump on. Watch the gauge so so that I make sure I've got vacuum and I can back the tailstock off, because I don't need it. It's not going anywhere. I can come in here with my 40/40 grind and cut that off. That'll do. Turn the vacuum pump off. Wait for the pressure to go down. And this is done. I don't need to do any finish on the outside of this at all. And it leaves no marks whatsoever on the inside. It looks fantastic. Okay, I mixed up a little 5-minute epoxy. And I'm going to put a decent coat in this. I don't want too much in here because I don't want it to squeeze out and be ugly. So I'm just going to put a thin film. That's all it really needs. Of course, my phone goes off all the time. Let me drop it in here. And just apply a little bit of pressure for a few minutes. We'll let this sit up a little bit and we're done. So here it is, nice little natural edge Hackberry bowl. Live edge, bark still on. Logo in the bottom. Nice little finish. Another turning done. And I'll put some stills up as always. I recently updated my website and this bowl will be on there in a day or two. So if you're interested, check it out. I made some significant changes to it and I'm really happy with the way it looks now. I've changed the home page and the about page a little bit and the whole layout is completely different.